Once upon a time, there was a shoemaker. He was a most industrious man and spent his whole day in working on fine leather boots and shoes. From early morning till late at night, he would hammer and stitch and sew at his bench. His work was of the best, and for many years he had only to get out a piece of leather and a needle when someone would open his door and say, "Ah, there you are, shoemaker. At last I find you in a quiet moment." But not for long. See these shoes I am wearing? They are so full of holes I might just as well walk across the puddles in my bare feet. So make me some new boots of your very finest leather, and hurry now, for I need them at once. And so it went for many years. The shoemaker had more work than he could possibly do, even though he kept at it all through the night. Often, as the church bells would ring out the early hours, the first rays of sunshine would find him fast asleep from weariness, stretched over his workbench. One day he grew sick, so sick that he could not work for a long, long time. The days stretched into weeks, and the weeks stretched into months, and finally, when the snow again lay on the trees outside his windows, the shoemaker knew that a year had passed, and that he faced the cold winter ahead of him without food or money or even wood for his fire. There was only enough flour for one more loaf of bread. With tears in her eyes, his wife patted it together and put it in the oven to bake. The shoemaker had just enough leather left to make a pair of shoes for some nobleman. If only he could finish them, they would easily be sold, and all would be well in their household again. So carefully he cut out a pair of fine riding boots. Carefully he measured the last inches of his fine sewing thread. Carefully he sorted out the few remaining nails for the soles and heels. There. He had just enough to complete them and not one thing more. Well, as long as a man had one loaf of bread in the oven and enough work for one more day, perhaps life wasn't so bad after all. By this time, night had come, and the poor, tired shoemaker fell fast asleep at his bench before he had even started to work.